What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the newest rumor with this whole Xbox strategy bringing games from its back catalog right to other platforms. And this is all still just a rumor, and I really want these things to be confirmed so we can kind of take it to the next era of discussion. But we've talked about Hi-Fi Rush. There's been talks about Pentiment and different things like that. Now, Sea of Thieves is the one being mentioned. This comes from Jeff Grubb. And basically his little story is he was told a while ago that Sea of Thieves was a game that could be looking to come to PS5 and Switch. And so when this past rumor, right, of the last few days has come out, he thought it immediately referred to Sea of Thieves because that's the one that he had heard. Now, again, everybody else is kind of saying Hi-Fi Rush. So this very much could be a massive push from Xbox. You know, we talked about this in the Hi-Fi Rush video, but it really, to me, depends on just the games that you're putting out. I see no problem with it. I think it literally is a case-by-case basis, which, you know, Phil Spencer did say that in terms of, you know, future games, Activision, Blizzard, maybe even Bethesda, right? Not necessarily referring to what has already come out, but I do think it makes sense to look back at the catalog and say what games have either served a purpose and are done, and I think Hi-Fi Rush would be one. The game is not going to change dramatically the performance from today, 3 months from now, 2 months ago, right? It did what it was going to do. Whereas Sea of Thieves, different example, right? Sea of Thieves is a live service game. It's a game that you want as many people as possible playing that game for as much time also as possible that you can do. So to move it to everywhere would open up more players, right? Which would then make Microsoft more money. So, you know, again, in the Hi-Fi Rush video, I had talked about, you know, I think a thing like Hi-Fi Rush, I think a game like Pentiment, right? Those are games that I think make a lot of sense to me because they've run their course. There's nothing more for them to do. If you bring Halo, if the next Gears or Elder Scrolls or whatever, if those games are multi-platform, then really that would show a new strategy from Xbox. Well, not even necessarily new, but the strategy would be get these games out to as many people as possible, and we really don't care about the Xbox console, which is not as bad as it sounds, right? If that's what they're doing and they want to be a publisher, they want Game Pass, they want you to play their games literally anywhere and all the time. And if that's their and it seems like they've done a pretty good job so far with Game Pass, right? If that's their plan, that's their plan. And I don't think it's going to happen yet. I don't think Elder Scrolls in the future is going to, you know, maybe the next one. Maybe after, maybe like Elder Scrolls 7 when Todd Howard's in a retirement home. Maybe that happens. But for now, I don't think, you know, you're going to get it multi-plat. I think right now it literally is a case-by-case basis. But you know what? It really, like, I don't know why it's such a big deal. And I said that a few days ago, but I really don't. Because in the future, like with this Activision Blizzard stuff, it's going to happen here and there, right? Like you're going to have the Indiana Jones of the world come out and just be on Xbox, or, you know, future Fallout, like I said, or Elders. Like certain things are going to happen. But if you tell me that the next Spyro game, and I'm assuming there is a new Spyro game, if you were to tell me that Spyro is just on Xbox, my jaw would hit the floor. I don't know why that would make sense, because when you think of Spyro or Crash, or, you know, if you bring the prototype games back, you know, things like that, I don't know why you would put those just now. Okay, well, I do know why. Anytime you put a game exclusively on a, you know, a system or, you know, a PC and Xbox, you are doing it for a reason, right? You're trying to build that ecosystem. But, you know, to add in those sales from the other platforms, especially for games that are a little bit smaller, that would be helpful. You think of Call of Duty. Call of Duty might one day be exclusive, but you know what? They would make so much money from the people still playing it on PlayStation, and you'd probably get some people to jump over to Xbox, but then, you know, those who stay would also still be supporting, in a way, Xbox, right? Or Microsoft. So it's a win-win. Really it is. And it does depend on the game. A game like Call of Duty maybe does make sense because of the money you can make. A game like Sea of Thieves does make sense because of the kind of game it is. I would say Grounded. You know, Grounded might be another one. That's another game that the whole point of it is just to play it as long as you possibly can. And so to put it on more platforms, anything that can support it, that would work. So I understand, like, people are going after what Phil Spencer has said in the past, and also there's like loyalty to the Xbox brand or loyalty to PlayStation. Like I do understand that, but I think generally it's just what they want to do, right? If their plan is to expand and they see a reason to do it, then I think it makes sense. For a game like Hi-Fi Rush, I'll keep saying it. Like, what is it hurting? Truly, what is Hi-Fi Rush hurting? I don't even think it moves the needle in any way, to be honest with you. Maybe it gets more people into the Hi-Fi Rush, like, brand, but it probably doesn't do it all that much. And then if you do get a sequel, I mean, maybe you get a couple tens of thousands of sales. And you know what? That's good for So the people that are upset about it, that's good for them at the end of the day. But also, it's possible. It's almost just like a wash. Nothing ends up happening. Sea of Thieves, that is a big one. Again, the hope might be that you put it on these consoles, on PlayStation, let's say, you play it, and you say, oh, this is actually really good. I want to do this more. Maybe I don't know if you ever would make a sequel to it because of the live service element to it, but maybe you do. Or maybe you just hope that those people like other Xbox games that you're making, Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, your own stuff, whatever, right? And then they jump over to Xbox and they get Game Pass or whatever. Like, that's the hope. And any way you can do that is... By the way, it's not like good versus evil or any of these kind of... It's literally, if that's what they want, which it probably is, then that's what they're doing. And it's not, to me, it doesn't really matter all that much. It would be, by the way, the exact same thing if Sony did it. Depending on what their strategy is, you might not like it for brand loyalty or whatever, but if the strategy is a certain thing and they're doing it for that strategy and then it works, well, there's not much more to it than that, right? And I do think that would happen. So I don't know. It definitely is more interesting because I didn't think Sea of Thieves would be one of these games. I thought it would be definitely more under the radar. I wouldn't call it indie. Hi-Fi Rush is definitely not indie, but a Pentiment goes under the radar. Hi-Fi Rush, it's a little bit bigger, but it still kind of goes under the radar compared to other games of its size. I thought it would be those, but now the rumors, Sea of Thieves, could we get Forza? Is Halo, Halo multiplayer, could you ever do that? And again, I think the long-term answer is yes. I actually think if Xbox gets out of the console market in the next, say, decade, well, 10 years from now, you might be playing Halo on your futuristic, PS7 or whatever the heck it is. You might be able to do that. And you might be able to play Halo multiplayer literally anywhere, on your phone, on your, laptop, on your tablet, on your whatever. That's literally the goal. So it would not shock me if that eventually happens. I don't think it happens in the short term. I still think, like I said, it's a case-by-case basis. But I think in 10, 15 years, all of like I said, when Todd Howard is in a retirement home and they're still making Elder Scrolls, that'll be on anything you can dream of, which I imagine is their goal. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.